Welcome back to the Pulse on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Now, campaigners pushing for the passage of the Right to Information Bill have descended heavily on government and parliament for what they say is a deliberate attempt to delay passage of the bill into law. Today, the RTI coalition held a news conference at which it said another NDC government will have disappointed not just Ghanaians but the international community about its commitment to the passage of the ITI bill. That is Azim is a steering committee member of the coalition.
The coalition would like His Excellency to note that the failure to pass the Right to Information Bill this year, that is 2016, will mean firstly that the NDC government has again lied not only to Ghanaians but to the international community about its commitment to the passage of the bill. Secondly, it will mean that Ghana has failed for the second time to fulfill her obligations under the Open Government Partnership Initiative, as well as the country's obligations under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Thirdly, the failure to pass the Right to Information Bill this year will mean that the NDC government cannot be trusted and that government's proclaimed commitments to the fight against corruption are mere words without action. Little wonder the passage of the Right to Information Bill was clearly missing in the President's speech at the Anti-Corruption Summit in London on May 12, 2016. Although civil society had insisted that it be included in the pledges. Well, they have said, they have promised us that they will pass the bill before the end of the year. And as we said, a minister even gave a date before 22nd July. Today is 28th July. So we are just bouncing back to them the promises that they are making, which they are failing to honor to Ghanaians. With the hope that if they have a conscience, if they have this country at heart, Parliament has been called several times to pass laws. If they think that is very important, if Ghanaians can say that, look, if you don't vote for, if you don't do it, we will not vote for you, I'm sure that will be enough pressure for them to recall Parliament to enact the bill. That's our hope. But also we are told that they may come back in October for a bit of time before they break for the elections. So there is still hope. Even there is still hope tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. They are rising tomorrow. It is possible, nobody knows. If they are listening to us, if they are afraid that their people are also listening to us, and that it may affect the outcome of the elections at the parliamentary level. These are our representatives at the constituencies. And we are appealing to Ghanaians to take that into consideration when they are deciding whom to vote for their as parliamentarians. Because that is very important, that they take us into consideration when they are sitting in Parliament.
Well, the coalition says the failure of government and Parliament to pass the bill will amount to a loss of revenue to the state. Mr. Seth Abloso is a member of the RTI coalition.
It will be regrettable if Parliament rises without passage of the ITI bill. Regrettable because the nation has incurred a lot of costs in preparatory sessions towards presentation of the bill with the amendments that accompany it. When I say a lot of costs, I mean cost in monetary terms and absence of MPs from sittings in the chamber because they have had to be exclusively out of the house to prepare, to consider.
Well, this issue raises a lot of concern that we need to interrogate today. We're joined in the studio by Mr. Alex Tete, who's also a member of the Right to Information Coalition, for more on the story and what else they will do beyond the admonition to Parliament on this matter. Thank you, sir, for joining us today on the program.
Thank you very much.
You clearly are worried that the bill may not be passed, but some would say Parliament is rising tomorrow, but it doesn't mean that's it for this session of Parliament.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, the last time the Parliament sat on this bill was in June 24th, and since then they haven't sat, and we have about 127 clauses. They've only dealt with 29 clauses, so there's no commitment. That's our worry. Parliament, after the bill consideration, they've stopped, and the certificates of emergency urgency, they've passed other bills. So what is happening to the RTI bill?
Now, for those 29 clauses in the bill you speak of, which have been looked at, Do you know the kind of work that went into its scrutiny? Because I would say it's easy to sit outside and look at their conduct and say they are not being as quick as they can. But if you understand the process as well, maybe you may begin to appreciate the work they're doing.
Definitely. I mean, we appreciate. But you and I agree that if Parliament is committed to pass this bill, it will be passed. It will be passed. They can sit on it and get it passed. Why should they stop? Since June 23rd, today is 28th of July, about 1 month, they have not sat on the bill. So we are scared. This bill has been one of the oldest bill in Ghana, which we've been fighting for. The point is that the bill, it's for all of us. It will help government, it will help the citizenry. And it's actually the people's bill. It's a bill that people will then question people who govern them, issues of accountability, issues of transparency. And we'll lose a lot of money, and we're still losing money because people don't have the right to question people who govern them, get information so that they will be empowered to be able to ask questions, the right questions, and demand their rights.
Okay, so for all of this, I need to ask, if you have concerns that this may not be passed, have you, for instance, and by that I mean the Right to Information Coalition, have you, for instance, written to Parliament to say, guys, what's happening? It's been more than a month, you've not touched this bill. What's happening?
We've done a lot. We've met parliamentarians one-on-one. We've done a lot. Even during the consideration stage, we were in Parliament meeting them. Each time there's an issue raised up which they are not clear on, we meet them and explain what's the spirit behind those clauses. We've been doing a lot on it. The point the coalition is raising is that it looks like the interest has died out, and if we are not careful, this Parliament will end without passing the bill.
So if it's your understanding that the passion and drive you're expecting them to pass this bill with is not being carried through, what else are you doing differently to ensure that the narrative changes for the better?
I mean, this platform is one of them. Today we held a press conference to raise issues and to remind them that we have noticed the fact that they've been cold in pushing for the bill. We wanted the president to speak on the issue. If president makes a statement and encourage Parliament to pass the bill, we know that it will be passed. We are calling on the president to act on this matter.
But we already know that the Speaker of Parliament put in a word when the bill was presented and said it should be handled with dispatch. Does that alone not inspire the confidence that it will be done?
No, we are scared. Mere words without action, okay, don't make anything.
But the president's own will also be mere words, isn't it?
Because no, the president is overall
because it's Parliament that's doing this. Yes. The president can only admonish them to get the job done.
I agree with you, but we know that the executive work hand in hand with the legislature. We know that if the president wants it to be passed, there's so many ways that president can get it worked out for it to be passed. You know, this bill, the Deputy Attorney General mentioned it in June, that this bill will be passed in July. Okay, July is ending and the bill is not passed. So what are we saying here?
Now, you've mentioned at the news conference today that a lot of money has been lost as a result of this work that has been done. If it's not passed, we're seeing huge amounts of money go down the drain. Do you know how much?
When we say a lot of money being lost, we're saying that there's corruption, okay? And then you cannot question, you cannot demand, and that is how monies are being lost. A lot of monies are going down the drain because we don't have the right to demand and to ask. For example, in the disability community, disabled people are entitled for common fund. All the districts, every 3 months, monies are transferred. 3% of the common fund are transferred to this assembly to benefit disabled people. These monies are being misused. Some assemblies, they tell you they borrow the money. Why do you borrow money meant for disabled people? Some assemblies will tell you, oh, the money was used for waste collection. A whole lot of stories. But when we demand, we want to know how many disabled persons benefited, you are not given answer. You cannot demand the list of disabled people who have benefited from the common fund. Okay, we are hearing stories about people who bring their family members to pose as disabled people to collect the money.
Okay.
So this is how we lose money meant for governance, money meant for development of this country, go into the drain.
So, press conference today raising these concerns. You're clearly worried about this. What else will your coalition do to ensure that the bill is passed into law?
Today we did a press conference. It's for you, the media, to hype it. It's for the president to listen to us.
If he doesn't?
If he doesn't, that would inform our next course of action.
Which is what?
I cannot say it here.
Would you be, would a legal action be one of the options to consider?
Actually, we have a leadership. So the leadership will sit and then decide on what to do, depending on the circumstances we find ourselves.
Because some make a counter argument that in as much as this bill is important, there are other options as well in trying to get information. In fact, in the past, there's been a ruling recently of a contract that was being demanded, clarity and a lot of controversy around it. Some individuals went to court, tested the law and demanded that they get details of this contract. They got it. Some say, well, I'm focusing too much on Parliament getting this done. Why don't we explore that option and get what we need? Because you say that we're losing money.
So all of us should go to court.
Would that be a good option if we're not getting the bill passed?
No, the point is that, not all of us have the capacity to go to court. For example, disabled people. You can imagine a poor disabled person in somewhere sexually or so to go to court. Does he have the capacity? Does he have the financial strength? Okay, so this is what we're saying. The Constitution clearly state out the framework. And it went on to say that there will be laws passed to explain and to expand those sections. For example, the disability law. In the Constitution section 20, I talked about persons with disabilities, the right and all that. But Parliament went ahead to pass the disability law to guarantee right for disabled people. That is what we're demanding. Okay, all of us cannot go to court, and every single information you want and you are not given, you go to court and demand that information to be given to you. But we cannot run the country this way.
But which one is better? Pushing for the bill for how many years? More than 10 years already. No response has come. There's a legal option to consider, which you can ask people who are with the financial wherewithal to push on your behalf to get things done.
No, the point is that what is the difficulty in passing the bill? What is Parliament trying to? What are we hiding? Okay, if we really ruling this country in a way that we think that we are not doing anything bad, why are we scared in passing a bill or in passing a law that will make people demand accountability, demand transparency? Because that is what good governance is all about. So countries, Togo has passed a bill into law. Nigeria has passed a bill into law. Okay, South Sudan, Kenya. So why Ghana?
Now, you did mention at the beginning of this interview that you've been doing a lot of work with Parliament as regards this bill. Have you written to the House asking for details on why it's not being done with dispatch?
We've done that.
When was that?
I can't give you. I don't have the details now, but we've done a lot. We've done a lot on this bill. We sat one-on-one with the chairman of the Legal and Constitutional Committee. We sat one-on-one with them. We sat one-on-one with the former, the current majority leader, Backbone. He's a fine MP who is passionate about this bill. Okay. We've been doing that.
And once you mention the majority leader and one fine gentleman you speak of, why not petition him, demand answers from him on why this is not being pushed and get the answers you require?
Okay, probably I'm sure a lot has been done. You understand, but it could be one of the options that we might have to do if no results comes out of our press conference. And there are other options that we might employ. Leadership will sit and consider it. But the point is that this bill is not only for the coalition. It's for all of us.
Yes.
It's for you and I. It's for the ordinary Ghanaian. It's for people, the voiceless, the marginalized. Okay, you and I are educated. I can move anywhere and demand for my right and demand for some information. If I'm challenged, I can face it. But the poor person who cannot face assembly member, who cannot face a chief executive somewhere, those are the people we're fighting for.
So if you're fighting for these individuals and you're not getting what you require, yes, your fear may be valid, but beyond the directive that the leadership will give on this matter, how far is the coalition willing to go to get this bill passed into law?
As far as we can. As far as we can. Because we believe that this bill is people's bill. Okay? We will have to mobilize our people. We have branches in all the 10 regions. We have MPs who have said that their constituency members ask them questions on this bill. Okay, so that is how we would, try to mobilize our people to demand. It's people's bill, so people must then demand for their bill, demand for their right.
Okay, thank you, sir, for joining us today. And one thing is clear in all of this. In fact, for multimedia, we have also presented a petition to Parliament asking for this bill to be passed with dispatch. Private legal practitioner and host of Newsfile, Samson Ladio, has been at the forefront of this charge for us here at Multimedia in ensuring that this bill is passed. We'll see what options can be explored in getting this bill passed by Parliament, and also get to understand why this delay is coming at a time like this. The promise to us all, in fact, when the bill was presented before Parliament, I remember vividly the Speaker mentioned that this should be treated with a lot of dispatch. It seems like we're not seeing that happen. We'll find out why and get you some responses here on the program later on. But thank you, sir, for spending some time with us. A member of the Right to Information Coalition, Mr. Tete, grateful for your time. We'll go for a break at this point, but when we come back, campaign is in heavy swing here in Accra. We'll bring you the details. Also, there's a good reason why you should be paying closer attention to your health and living a good life. We'll tell you more about that after the break here on the show. Stay with us.